For those of you that don't know, the MCU has been trying to capture all demographics, all walks of life. They have us middle-aged nerds that have been reading the comics, grew up collecting the Fleer Ultra cards, playing some of the crappy video games like that X-Men game on the Genesis that was impossible to beat. And so it's time to skew younger. So we got introduced to Kate Bishop, aka Girl Hawkeye. She was played by Haley Steinfeld in that Hawkeye TV show on Disney+. Actually, a few of these come from Disney+. Kamala Khan's character was in the show Miss Marvel, also Disney+. And who could forget everyone's favorite Ant-Man daughter from Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum Shidia. The third time's the charm, they say. So they got the third actress they could to play her, and she was the worst. It also may not help that I'm not the biggest fan of Kathryn Newton's acting. So Cassie Lang, this was the worst version for me. Another character people may not know exists is Billy Maximoff from Agatha All Along. He was introduced / created in WandaVision, but they brought it home in Agatha All Along. Then there's that spunky America Chavez from Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And of course, everyone's favorite Iron Shart from that Disney Plus show that was awful. I brought up Google and it also gives me 3 other names I didn't even know were real people. Kid Loki from, I assume, one of the Loki seasons. Patriot, who was introduced in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I watched that series. I don't remember Patriot, so he definitely left an impression. And Speed, aka Tommy Maximoff. All right, well, he's the other part of the WandaVision thing. I don't remember him surviving in Agatha All Along, but I also don't care. Moving on. There's a post-credit scene in the movie The Marvels that 6 people saw, myself included, where Kamala Khan pays a visit to Kate Bishop and says, "Hey, bitch, I'm the new Nick Fury, I guess, and I'm putting together a team of teenage superheroes that are gonna fight some bad guy down the road." Keep in mind, none of them I don't think are teenagers anymore. Haley Steinfeld's 29. Ayman Vinali, who plays Kamala Khan, is 23. She's, I think, one of the youngest of the group, so if they did even start making this movie, by the time it comes out, she's gonna be like 26. It's still very much on the young side, but I don't think it's capturing the youthful 15, 16-year-old demographic they were hoping to. And neither does Miss Villani, who was recently asked about it in an interview, and she responded with, "I'm personally more of a fan of Champions than that of the Young Avengers. I think it's more relevant." She is an avid comic book reader. I have no idea what Champions is, so I'll take her word for it. She also went on to mirror my sentiment by saying, if this movie does eventually come out, I don't think any of us are going to be all that young. It's also not slated for the MCU Phase 6. Could it potentially come out in Phase 7? I don't think so. I think that ship has failed, kind of like the Eternals. Highly doubt we're going to see any of those characters again. Blade shit the bed. It was constantly postponed. Several writers and directors jumped ship. Mahershala Ali, I think, is all but given up at this point. When you're handling a universe as large as Marvel is, and you have TV shows, and you have movies, and all this stuff is supposed to connect and bounce off of each other, and characters are jumping from movies to shows, back to movies again, it gets very messy. And there's going to be some bumps in the road. That just goes without saying. I do think the bumps have turned more into hills at this point, with a lot of people not that excited about what's to come. I have no doubt Doomsday is going to pull in huge numbers still. It is an Avengers large-scale event. People go to the theaters to watch this stuff. We have 3 Avatar movies that have grossed over $1 billion. And I can confidently say people don't talk about these films a week after they hit theaters. They're just so forgettable. They're really just a one-time movie experience at the theaters. And I kind of think that's what the Avengers Doomsday is going to be. It's a huge event that's going to bring in a lot of these characters. Robert Downey Jr. is coming back, this time as Doom. I think it's really stupid, but we'll see where it goes. None of the films in the multiverse really did anything exciting. They all felt cheap and gimmicky, killing off characters so that they had an excuse to bring them back as a different variant, or they'd roll out the red carpet for some random-ass reference to a Fox property, bring out the X-Men just to kill them off instantly. And then there was the huge miscalculation of going all in on Kang the Conqueror. Obviously, there was drama behind the scenes, so they had to pivot to the Doom stuff. Again, almost no one went to the Marvels. It bombed at the box office. The Eternals was a disaster. Spider-Man always holds up all ships. We got a fourth one coming out. Trailer's pretty awesome. It's really hard to screw Spider-Man up that much. But Thor: Love and Thunder was so miserable. The whole thing being in front of these green screens or these digital screens give everything such a plastic, fake feel that you can't really connect on any level with anything going on because, you know, it's all just nonsense. So it's probably wise to get away from the Teenage Avengers movie and get your base back. Really pump out some quality content again. I will say, I thought Thunderbolts was a perfectly fun movie. I enjoyed it. A good cast, good script, some nice action. I had no issues with that film. Fantastic Four, kind of more of the same. Not a bad flick, entertaining, some good spectacle. No problems from me there. They do the job, but nothing's really blowing me out of the water. Nothing's certainly saying, you need to rush out and watch the next Marvel movie. These are huge events that should be seen on the big screen. And I think people are waking up to the fact that they're really not. And so they're staying home. And that way they can check them out from the comfort of their own couch on Disney+. All right, there you have it, some breaking news on Young Avengers. Let me know in the comments your thoughts. Do you have any interest in this flick outside of seeing Haley Steinfeld once again looking smoking hot as this female Hawkeye? I would sign up for a solo film from her. I think it would actually do pretty well, especially with the right uniform. Let me know. Please think of subbing to the show, Adam Does Movies. I post daily content on the channel, movie news, reviews, live streams once a week. Would love to have you stick around. And hopefully, I see you next time. Thanks for watching the video. Since you're still here, I gotta give a special shout out to my Patreon supporters at patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies. There are 3 tiers you can support the channel at. These are the silver and gold members right here, just a beautiful group of people. If you didn't know, Adam Does Movies is a passion project for me. It's a second job for me. So making this happen is incredibly grueling. Over 300 exclusive videos just for signing up at the bronze membership. Every month, I add more exclusive videos for silver and gold members. So there's always new stuff happening over there. So anything you can do, I would appreciate.